Bookkeeping firms charge at least $400 a month to do your bookkeeping. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do bookkeeping for your Amazon business using only a simple Google Sheet and QuickBooks, which cost about $35 a month at the time of this recording. And as usual, you can download my Google Sheet from the link in the description for free. In this video series, we will go from this, which is the payment report you can download from Amazon Seller Central with all its confusing numbers. We will go from this to this, which is QuickBooks, where all your data from Amazon is correctly imported and also broken down by product family. More on this later. And eventually we'll get to this, a much more readable layout, which gives you a snapshot of your profit and loss of your business, broken down by product to the gross profit level. So you know the gross profit of each one of your products. And you can see how your business is doing in terms of revenue split by product and in terms of how your total income is split between your cost and your net profit. Also, these numbers are entirely correct all the time because they're calculated by formulas. So there is no room for errors, and they will match the numbers reported in your 1099K form that Amazon generates at the end of the year, which is what you're going to use to file your taxes. So at the end of the year, you give your bookkeeping report from QuickBooks, the profit and loss statement in specifics, and the 1099K form generated by Amazon. You give them both to your tax preparer, and they can file taxes for you. Another point is that I broke this video down into 3 parts because I thought it was a little too loaded to be only one video. In the first part, which is this one, we're gonna import Amazon sales data into QuickBooks. In the second part, we're gonna import the cost of goods of the products you sold on Amazon to QuickBooks. In the third part, we're gonna export data from QuickBooks into this spreadsheet that you can see over here to have a better reading of how our business is doing and to get insights that we can use to improve our business and optimize our operations. Before we move on, I wanted to give credit to small business Sarah. Her YouTube channel is in the links in the description because that's how I came up with this system. She has already a very simple, clear system to do Amazon bookkeeping targeted at small Amazon sellers and Etsy sellers, but this was specific for Amazon. I found it really valuable. I reached out after I watched it because from that video, that's how I developed my system, which instead can be applied to a large catalog of products and has advantages and improvements that I didn't find in the initial framework that Sarah has created to make it simpler. In my case, I also use a lot of spreadsheets and formulas. So instead of inputting the numbers manually, all this can be done by exporting from Amazon into a spreadsheet and from the spreadsheet into QuickBooks, and everything can be outsourced to someone else to do it for you. In my case, it is my virtual assistant. But before we move on, I wanted to give credit to Sarah because what she's put out as content was super valuable for me and I think for many other sellers. We will start from the Amazon payment reports, and I'll show you why this can be confusing. So if you go on Amazon Seller Central Payments and go to Reports Repository, you can download a report for a month or for a specific time. Let's do January 2025. You request this report, it's going to refresh for a little bit. I think I have it already somewhere. Yes, this one. So we can download it directly from here. Now this report is going to look like this if it loads. There you go. So you have an income table, an expenses table, a transfers table, and a tax table. Now, what's confusing is that most of the times sellers, I feel, they don't look at these reports, but they go into a different part of Seller Central. They go to business reports, like which would be this. And they look, for example, for the same time frame, and find that this number, 2762.53, does not match this number, 2555.94. And it doesn't match this number either. This is 2692, not this number either. So and the reason is that there's different fees and charges that Amazon either gives you as a revenue, as part of the revenue, or takes as part of your sales, which contribute to make these numbers different. Now, you don't need to go into each single one of them. They're generally related to shipping credits, gift wraps credits, promotional rebates, and other things. But you can then use my system to make sense of this. Also, another very important point is that from the Amazon payment report, which is what you want to match what then will be sent to the IRS to pay your taxes. So you want to send your taxes based on this and based on the 1099K form that Amazon generates. From this, the problem is that you don't have a feeling at all of what's the gross profit of your business. Like, are you making money? Are you losing money? Yeah, this is a number, but this is a bigger number. Yes, some money has been transferred to you. Like, it's hard to have a quick look at your business. And so this is problem number one. Problem number two is that there is no reference to your individual product performance. You see product sales non-FBA, product sales refund, but I have I have four products in two main product families. There is no way for me from this to know what is happening, which products are bringing profit, which products are bringing less profit, and which ones are maybe losing money. This is what my Google Sheet will help you do. And as a quick reminder, at least for what concerns an Amazon business, the gross profit is all the revenue coming from sales happening on Amazon, minus all Amazon fees and charges to your account, minus the cost of goods, so the cost of producing your products, minus the cost of delivering those products to your final customer, which, if you use Amazon FBA, will be still an Amazon originated charge. And I want to go back to my final spreadsheet just briefly to show you why it is important, if not crucial, to know the gross profit of your business for each one of your products. Not overall, but for each product. So let me zoom a little bit. This is the profit and loss of my brand, and thanks to my system, I have two main sub-items, boards and lights. Those are two product families that I sell on Amazon, and I'm interested in knowing which one is doing better and how they're doing. So thanks to my system, each one is broken in two. We have the cost of goods for each one of them. We have the Amazon FBA fees for each one of them. And we have the Amazon selling fees for each one of them. The result is that I can see the gross profit overall of my business, which is 39%. So out of $2,500 in sales, I made about $1,000 in gross profit. But if you look, 48% is the gross profit of my skateboards, while 5% is the gross profit of my lights. And under gross profit, we have indirect expenses such as storage or advertising, which will definitely make this number go below zero. So I'm losing money selling my skateboard lights, and I would never know this if I didn't look at the gross profit per product. And yes, there are tools out there that do profit and loss, Amazon profit and loss for you. But to my research, it's pretty hard to find one that gives you accurate profit and loss statements and gross profit per each product or per each product family. So for example, I have this trial going and I can show you. This is Sellerboard. This is actually a pretty good tool. It has a lot of features and it shows you a lot of numbers that many other tools actually don't show you. So in this case, in the dashboard, there is a profit and loss tab, which I've set for the last 12 months of my business. It's already integrated. And you can see sales, how many units we sold, the advertising cost, which is great. But then sales do not split by product. So I have organic sales, sponsored product sales. Those are great things to know. I need to know what's coming from my ads and what's coming from my organic sales. But in order to know if one product is selling and is making profit and the other one isn't, you need to break down these numbers by product. And so this is a great tool, but this one doesn't do it. Instead, my tool eventually does it, and it gives me insights on what I have to do next. Also, tools like this one, they're not made for accounting. So again, these numbers that you see over here will match your business reports, but they will not match your Amazon payment reports. So for January 2762, it is this number on my business reports, but it is not this number. And this is what your accountant needs to file taxes at the end of the year. And this is what you need to know on QuickBooks, on a profit and loss statement of an accounting software, how your business is doing. On top of this, These tools, since they're not accounting tools, they do not integrate with banks, with other financial institutions. So they do not import other transactions related to your business to give you a net profit statement in the end. You're supposed to add those information manually in some of these tools, and this is going to take forever. So that is not sustainable. On the other hand, coming from a QuickBooks import and an export in a spreadsheet like this, you have at the end of the line, you have net operating income, and this includes everything. It includes what's coming from Amazon, but also what's outside of Amazon. Storage and logistics, that's not necessarily an Amazon expenses. Let me zoom for a second. This is Amazon advertising, this is Amazon's service fees, but this is marketing that goes outside of Amazon. I'm not spending anything on it right now. I use some software and apps, including QuickBooks, that I pay over here. I have some business licenses, some insurance. You may have some contractors, some social media manager. You may have other expenses that those tools would not account, while QuickBooks and a spreadsheet to make it concise and clear for you will do. So I strongly recommend to use something like this. And honestly, I don't know anything else in the market that does it. So I strongly recommend to use my system. Now, before we dive into updating QuickBooks with Amazon data using this spreadsheet, I wanted to give you a quick overview. This spreadsheet has one sheet where we will paste the Amazon payment report in a CSV transaction format. It has another page where all that data will be split by all these categories that are what QuickBooks uses. And it will create these two numbers, which we can check against the Amazon payment report PDF summary that we have seen before to make sure that we didn't lose a cent of the Amazon transactions and we are 100% correct and matching what Amazon has in their systems. This is made on my brand, Eggboards, but you can adapt it to your brand by using this products page where you can add your SKUs and add them to product families, basically to split them into different product families. An additional note is that this is a spreadsheet and this is free, and you will see that it takes a few minutes to update. What's the competition for this? The competition are softwares like this, which is very common, and I tried for a while. It's called A2X, and this is great. It integrates with like QuickBooks, Xero's, like a lot of different platforms, and it's made exactly for the same purpose as my spreadsheet. Amazon QuickBooks online integration, fantastic. Now, the two things that I don't like about this is that first, same as the seller board before, there is no breakdown per product. You will get a profit and loss that looks like this, and you will not know which product is bringing profit and which one is not. The second thing that I don't love about this is that if you click on pricing, you will see that for, let's say, well, first of all, it needs to be an Amazon business, right? You will have to pay more if you use Shopify, which I do, and it's already integrated in my spreadsheet, but that's not even the point. The point is that if you use the starting plan, the mini, it does not have the cost of goods sold, which is crucial because without cost of goods sold, you don't know your gross profit. You will have to input that number manually and on QuickBooks. And so you end up paying $60 a month if your transactions are less than 1,000 orders, which for smaller sellers could be the case. Otherwise, it keeps on growing. And you will not have the same results as my spreadsheet because you will still not have gross profit broken down by product. This is why I claim to say that my system is not only cheaper than this, but it's also better because it's more accurate and has more details that can help you steer your business in the right direction. We are in Amazon Seller Central in the payment reports repository. And while before we downloaded the summary report, we'll download a transaction report still for January 2025. We request the report. Once ready, we will download it, save it, open it. All we're going to do is we're going to go to where the data is. So you can see that this is a heading like date, time. These are headings. We could select all the data. We're going to copy it. And then we're going to go to the spreadsheet that we use to transform this data into something that QuickBooks can use. So we'll go to Amazon Payment Report and paste everything that we copied before. Once we paste it, this second sheet called Check Entries will start showing numbers. We're going to also add a date. and this is going to create a name for our import on QuickBooks. Now, the only thing to do before importing to QuickBooks is to check these two numbers with the summary that we opened before, which is this one. So as you can tell in this one, the income is 2,555.94, which is matching to the cent to this number. The other number in the expenses is instead minus 979.15, which is also exactly matching this. So we are sure with these two numbers that we are importing exactly the data that Amazon has. Now, second step, we're gonna import this into QuickBooks. Before we proceed to import this data into QuickBooks, I want to show you now that I cleaned my QuickBooks from January. So now in the profit or loss for January, you don't see any entry related to egg boards. You see this ones with TW, which is my second brand called Third Wheel. It's a small brand, as you can see. There's like very little sales coming. I'm evaluating if this product has any sense. But there's nothing related to egg boards because we're gonna import it now from the spreadsheet we created. So back to the spreadsheet. We already confirmed that these numbers are correct. We go to the second sheet, and from this one, we just need to download as CSV. We don't even need to open it. We just go back to QuickBooks. We select journal entries. This is important. And we select import and upload the file. This is the file. We click next. It's already formatted for QuickBooks except this account name that you need to reselect. I don't know why. You click next and you click on complete import. Once this is done, you can click OK and go back to your report. And you will see, there we go, that for January 2025, now we can see egg boards here, and it's broken down by product. So we'll see gift wrap credit, how much is for the boards, how much is for the lights, and so the credit refund, and so other credits and rebates and refunds and sales and so on. And the most important one is sales, of course, like we have board sales and light sales. I am fully aware that this view on QuickBooks, it's not immediate, right? Like it's very long. It's hard to kind of like get a feeling of how things are going. And that is why we will eventually export it in a different spreadsheet where we can have insights about our business and about our products in terms of their profit and loss and gross margin. Before we wrap up this first part of this guide, I wanted to show you one thing that you need to do on QuickBooks to make this whole thing work. And this is called updating your chart of accounts. The chart of accounts is a QuickBook word, meaning the list of items that the QuickBooks accepts, and they will show in the profit and loss statement. So you need to have these items that we have in our spreadsheet over here, these ones, formatted exactly like this. Don't go into the details, it's not necessary, but you need these ones set on QuickBooks to be able to import this file. Now, this can seem really confusing, but it's not, because instead of creating them one by one, clicking new, you can import an existing CSV file with the chart of accounts. And I will add to the downloads, free downloads related to this video, my chart of account for QuickBooks. The only thing you will need to change from that one is the name of your brand. You will have to adapt based on how many products you have. I'm thinking about creating something that automatically, adds entries to this chart of accounts as you add products. I haven't done it yet. If you need it, please leave a comment and I will try to get to it. But in the meantime, you can just download my chart of accounts, go to QuickBooks, import it, and this whole process will work smooth like magic. You don't need to do anything complicated. Okay, to recap, in this video, we have seen how Amazon payment reports can be confusing and do not carry the information that you need to know how your business is doing in terms of gross profit and gross profit by products. We have seen what is gross profit and how to calculate it by each individual product. And we have seen how my system using simple Google Sheets and QuickBooks is cheaper and better than alternatives in the market. Then we have seen how to set up QuickBooks to accept these imports from Amazon, and we did it together in a few minutes. In the next video, I will show you how to import the cost of goods sold, again, from Amazon into QuickBooks. And as usual, you can download all the spreadsheets that we have seen in this video for free from the link in the description. See you in the next one.